In a galaxy teeming with life, radiant worlds flourished under the guidance of the Galactic Council. Each species celebrated its unique customs and advanced technologies. For centuries, these civilizations coexisted, forging alliances and sharing knowledge. But among them lay a newly discovered entity, humanity. On the outskirts of the council chambers, meetings buzzed with fervent conversations framing the fate of intergalactic relations. The humans, a somewhat barbaric race by galactic standards, were scrutinized with skepticism and contempt. Their admission into the cosmic brotherhood stirred mixed feelings, many and dismissive of the emotions that enveloped them. "We must ensure the humans are kept in check. They are still savages at heart," barked a Krell ambassador, his three eyes narrowing with disdain, dripping with arrogance. "Their technology is archaic, their combat unsophisticated. They pose no real threat." "But what if they do?" countered Kale Narat, a brooding Yorn strategist with a keen glint in his eye. "Do you not recall the tales of Earth's defiance? These humans possess resourcefulness beyond that of any known species. We have a duty to observe them closely." The council erupted in cynical laughter. Snickers echoed off the high, crystalline walls, their vibrations shaking the foundations of what was meant to be a sanctuary of wisdom and clever discourse. They chuckled at the notion that this unrefined species could challenge their age-old authority. But as the council sessions unfolded, whispers of tension began to echo across the stars, a kindling flame igniting uncertainty in the air. Unbeknownst to them, on the distant, rugged terrain of Ferax 4, whispers had begun to turn into actions. The human colony prepared for the storm, a storm that would redefine their identity among the stars. The inhabitants, blissfully unaware of the machinations of their government, placed their faith in community and grit. As their world revolved around camaraderie, friendships blossomed. Little did they know, destiny's hand was ready to embrace them, guiding humanity's path toward chaos. As the sun dipped low on Ferax 4, casting an ethereal glow across the landscape dotted with alien flora and fauna, Captain Alex Carter found solace atop a ridge. His rugged silhouette framed against the orange horizon exuded resolve. He was a man both hopeful and embattled, carrying the weight of leadership upon his shoulders. "Hey, Captain, care to join the festivities?" Jenna Larkin, their tech prodigy, called out with a playful grin. She, along with their small team, prepared for the evening celebrations, celebrating unity across their nascent society. "Just enjoying the view," Alex replied, a small smile gracing his lips. Nevertheless, unease clung to him like clouds overshadowing the sun. He couldn't shake the feeling that something monumental awaited them. Just as stars began to twinkle against the vast canvas of the night, the tranquility shattered like glass, shattering their collective emotions. Alarms rang out, sharp and piercing, sending shockwaves of terror through the sleepy colony. Distant rumblings turned into an ominous crescendo. A squadron of sleek alien ships, lit by the eerie glow of underbelly lights, pierced the sky like predatory birds. The Garen had arrived, vicious colonizers known for their brutal regimes, readying themselves to instill chaos, doom, and devastation. "Form defensive positions," Alex shouted, adrenaline surging through him as panic unfurled throughout the encampment. The calm air thickened with urgency as he rallied the unit. His heart raced, fueled by the instinct to protect everything they held dear. This was not just about survival, but standing resolute against oppressors. Despite training and combat drills, the sight of the advanced Garon technology, the sleek ships armed with menacing plasma weaponry, instilled terror. Explosions erupted. Houses and shelters crumbled, screams blended with chaos, and the distant sound of gunfire echoed against the landscape. "Cover the exit! Get the civilian out!" Reggie, one of the more experienced soldiers, yelled, his voice booming among the chaos. Yet he knew their forces were inadequate against the encroaching storm. "Fall back! We can't hold them!" Jenna cried, determination mingled with fear as she fended off attackers, her weapons sputtering bravely. But the alien soldiers advanced like a ruthless wave, intent on dismantling the human spirit. "No, we won't go down without a fight," Alex shouted back, pushing through the throng of soldiers rushing to safety, detonating crude explosive charges. "Push! We're getting out of here!" he screamed, utilizing his commanding presence to instill strength in those around him. They, retreating reluctantly, but remained steadfast in heart. The desire to protect surged like an inexhaustible flame. As the violence intensified, Alex sprinted after the civilians, desperately searching for reacquaintances, ensuring no one was left behind. He could see household pets fleeing alongside starry-eyed children, clutching the hands of terrified parents. Single casualties turned into twin defeats, while his heart ached with despair. Each explosion tore through the colony, crumbling the last remnants of peaceful existence and the lives that dwelled within. When the chaos quieted, the survivors perched atop a ridge, silhouettes dark against the dying light. The moon hung high, casting a haunting glow over the scene of devastation. Lives lay in shambles beneath them. "Where do we go from here?" Basher asked, his booming voice laced with confusion and frustration that echoed through the silence like a groaning ghost, summoning the weight upon their shoulders. "We regroup," Alex replied firmly, determination hardening his expression. "We'll find a way to fight back," he vowed, unwavering in the face of despair. Despite the overwhelming sorrow, he could feel strength pulsating within him, whispering of resilience they had yet to tap. In the aftermath of the attack, the moon illuminated the damage like a vigil for those both lost and abandoned. Scarred by recent horrors, the surviving members of the 17th Infantry huddled together in a makeshift camp, their lives twisted and haunted by the echoes of chaos that had swept through their colony. Around a flickering monitor displaying holographic maps, they convened. Alex was up front, the weight of leadership pressing heavily on his shoulders. Everyone looked to him for strength. Each gaze beseeched reassurance as they mapped their path forward. "What the hell just happened?" Alex exclaimed, wringing his hands over the holographic map scattered with flashing lights, indicating the positions of the Garan forces, confident, advancing, and dangerously close. "They were overwhelming," Jenna said, her face pale while she shielded her eyes from the glow of the projector. "They had better weapons, better combat experience. We shouldn't have stood a chance. Yet here we are, ruined and retreating. Playing catch-up? We let them tear apart our home." Reggie's frustration erupted, his voice thick with simmering rage. Others murmured in agreement, the atmosphere electrified with emotion. "Look," Basher chimed in, scratching his stubbled chin. "Moping won't change the reality we faced. We can't let fear dictate our actions. We've learned, battled, and survived. It's about time we hit them back. If they think they can simply encroach upon our home, they are sorely mistaken." Emboldened, the team began to strategize, tentatively at first, but with increasing conviction. They rallied around the holographic flicker, mapping out their next offensive, a planned surprise return against the Garan. Shrouded in denial, they would transform their previous defeats into the seeds of retribution. Under the cloak of darkness, they began preparing their ambush tactics, explosive contraptions hidden beneath the soil, made from the remains of their earlier strategies. Fueled by anger and driven by determination, their spirits lifted. They began to craft complex traps and equipment designed to outsmart their enemies. As dawn broke, defiance fueled nerves. A camaraderie born from shared heartache ignited a fire in their spirits. Each member stood tall, eager to reclaim lost dignity in their impending onslaught. Dressed in makeshift armor illuminated by the sun, tensions lingered in the air. "All right, team, no more running," Alex declared. "It's time to show them we are not easy prey. Strike hard and quick." When the moment arrived, Alex felt the rush of determination swell within him, brushing aside lingering doubts. The group silently vowed to fight for their home, a pact binding every soul within their ranks. As the squad advanced, adrenaline surged, flushing out fear. The Garan were patrolling furiously over their encampment, oblivious to the imminent threat that had now fully sprung back into action. "Go, go, go!" Alex shouted as they unleashed hell upon their unsuspecting foes, triggering devices that ignited their carefully orchestrated plan, flooding Garan ranks with slaughter, fear, and confusion. With each darkened corner they maneuvered, shadows danced like waves of retribution. As firing eruptions of energy echoed through the air, they surged forward, attacking a flanking operation, precision cutting through chaos. "Take that!" shouted Reggie, his battle cry primal. It was a reminder that humanity fought for far more than mere survival. It was a strike against oppression. As the skirmish unfolded, the human spirit shone incandescently bright. The battlefield illuminated with flashes of ingenuity as Jenna directed her tech-powered weaponry, closing information gaps, each action a new defiance festering within them. The air ignited with furious energy as they pressed onward, coordinating their efforts like gallant warriors, forging a legacy. "We are more than the pieces they've considered, more than shadows to be trampled," Alex bellowed as they unleashed the last of the ambush. When the dust settled, victory became tangible. They had reclaimed not just supplies, but the very essence of their humanity, a crew proud, emboldened, ready to face whatever would come next. Inside the polished, expansive Galactic Council's amphitheater, tension bristled like static in the air. Representatives from various species clashed. Their voices filled the chamber with discord and incredulity. "Can it be true? The Garan were struck down by mere humans?" a Jarlock Council member scoffed. Disbelief smeared across his elongated visage, stringy tentacles twisting under his frustration. "Cunning? Hardly. They are a primitive race wielding little more than fists and primitive storm fighting," grumbled a green, bulging-eyed Krell, dressed in robes embellished with opulence, reflecting his arrogance and stubbornness that reeked of superiority. Amidst the crowded chamber, a figure rose. Kale Narat, a well-respected diplomat, emerged as an unexpected voice of support. "You underestimate them at your peril. This is an ancient battle of wits, one where unpredictability grants an unexpected advantage. The human spirit is fierce when ignited." With every word weighed carefully, murmurs of acceptance began to fill the council chamber, the winds of change stirring in the hearts of those assembled. Meanwhile, Garen General Devara stood at the center of the chamber, exhausted and humiliated, having returned from the battlefield, bearing news of defeat that would resonate across the galaxy. Humanity is not to be underestimated. They may be unrefined, but they possess resilience, Devara explained through gritted teeth. The defeat was nearly unbearable, yet the fierce intelligence behind his voice mirrored the fear that threaded through other chambers of the council. He continued recounting the tactical prowess exhibited by humans, heightening the tension and shifting tides of opinion. They adapt quickly. They learned from the chaos of battle. "A spark of resistance can ignite a conflagration across the stars," he declared resolutely, feeling a sense of reluctant respect as his own forces faltered. Finally, gathering his thoughts, a wrinkled elder from the Zanfar delegation raised a hand, stilling the cacophony. "Perhaps we must reconsider our stance. What they have achieved merits not merely our concern but our collaboration. After all, united, we thrive." With every pulse of his wisdom, murmurs of intrigue echoed throughout, and a sense of urgency washed over the chamber's atmosphere. The tide had begun to shift. Alien races that once basked in superiority reconsidered their positions as fear turned to curiosity about the species they had deemed inconsequential. A strange sense of respect began to blossom. Fueled by victories fresh with promise, Alex's unit steeled itself, transforming the atmosphere of the battalion from oppressive to rejuvenating. They assembled together, ready to strike out and embrace retaliation. In their next strategy meeting, tension coiled like a spring within the war room. The Dusk Patrol, Alex's newly formed reconnaissance unit, huddled around the same holographic map, humming with danger. A pulsating chamber encompassed them. The burdens of yesterday loomed large, yet hope flickered like a candle in the wind. "Okay, team, no more running. We'll target the Garan supply depot at Bandit's Gate tonight. Slit the reins of their reinforcements," Alex declared, his tone exuding determination, his resolve a beacon summoning confidence amidst uncertain spirits. "Can we really pull this off?" Jenna asked, concern hinting at vulnerability, her fingers tapping anxiously against the table. "They'll have heavy defenses. They won't let us catch them off guard again. They are prepared." With flames igniting within the depths of their shared spirit, Basher grinned wide. "You forget we're the underdogs. We can make them think we're weaker, lead them to believe they can besiege us." "Exactly. The element of surprise will be our greatest weapon," Jenna concurred, spark cracking through her tech-lined vest as her brain cycled through hundreds of ideas. We'll take them down using the shadows. As tension swelled around them, plans began to take shape. Strategies woven through adrenaline and resolve engulfed them. They transformed loss into retribution, carving paths of strength that would resonate across cosmic maps for years to come. Nothing could dim the fierce adrenaline surging through them as they began preparations for ambushes, utilizing improvised technology and crude explosives that shattered their previous shackles, now embodying defiance ignited into life. As dawn approached, excitement filled their veins. Adrenaline danced through every member, electric currents of determination spoken through past atrocities igniting fires in their hearts. In equal parts, trepidation and exhilaration, they gathered, armed and focused. "Let's make tonight count," Basher roared as they pressed into the twilight of the cosmos beyond. Clad in darkened clothing, the squad pressed toward their destinations as shadows enveloped their figures. An eerie silence settled over the hillside, tension wrapped around them like a cloak. The Garonne supply depot lay ahead like a strike at the arteries, powerful but vulnerable. The time felt suspended as their surroundings teemed with the murmur of possibility. But soon alarms blared. The Garonne began to react. "Now!" Alex shouted, unleashing the pre-written chaos as explodable traps erupted. "Fall back!" a Garonne soldier barked furiously, but they were caught unawares by the intricate traps that now disrupted their lines. "Push forward!" Alex savored the taste of rebellion as the ground underfoot trembled with his commanding voice, that melodious strength spurring humanity onward. He led the way through cunning passageways, adrenaline humming within every fiber. The ambush surged through the air like a storm. Fiery projectiles flew. Humanity reclaimed their territory amidst flashes of chaos, their newfound spirit shining brightly amidst the storm. With each enemy that fell, human victory solidified. This was their moment, one that would be etched throughout history as humanity dared to challenge the mighty and reclaim their fate. As the echoes of their victories began to fade, the atmosphere within the Southern Command Center flourished, providing a nurturing bond that united them through shared experiences. Their spirits intertwined, their resolve solidified like iron forged in fire each time they reminisced. One crisp evening around flickering campfires beneath the vast blanket of stars, laughter filled the air, weaving warmth through the community against the backdrop of chaos outside this newly formed family. "How do you humans celebrate these things?" Basher teased between bites of campfire-grilled rations, grinning ear to ear. "Do you dance, or just flail wildly like maybe you're all inebriated?" "Of course we dance. And I challenge you to keep up," Jenna spluttered, her laughter spilling like wine over their camp. "Then let's see how it's done, in a proper showdown," Reggie hollered, his eyes ablaze with excitement. Friendly banter rose, feeling like waves spreading hope amongst them. In that very moment, camaraderie deepened to nourishing roots. Each anecdote exchanged drew them closer, transforming fear into a dance-filled memory. Raucous laughter echoed across the embers of the fire, a reminder that even amidst the struggle, spirits could rise. Despite the joy and levity, underlying shadows of their past losses loomed large. In moments of solidarity, they opened up. Reggie, leaning back, glanced up at the stars. His voice broke the silence. "Fear is a funny thing. You know, when the Garen invaded my family home, I realized I'd let my fear breed anger. Now, just being here, it feels like I have a family again to fight alongside." "I get that," Alex said softly, nodding in agreement, locking his gaze on his comrade. "For me, growing up was never about the fights or the systems. It was about standing with loved ones. Here, we all found something most have lost: purpose. Let's remind them all that we can fight fiercely. We fear nothing, not even the biggest threats in the galaxy," Jenna exclaimed, a fire lighting in her eyes reflecting Alex's own. "Together, we can forge something incredible. The belief we have is stronger than any weapon they possess." As the midnight hour rose and excitement heightened, they brainstormed plans seamlessly. Strategies born from trial and error danced among them. Basher's street-fighting prowess infused creativity that merged dance into combat, every maneuver burgeoning potential. Let's make our training sessions. We thrive when working together, Alex shouted, the tones of unity brushing away the lingering fear. The baton of hope shifted, each exchange of movement growing more complex, threading unbreakable bonds as they pushed forward. Even amidst jovial memories, echoes of conflict thrummed like a heartbeat beneath the surface. Lives lost in battles not yet fought reminded them of the stakes involved. In the heart of Ferax 4, war's ripple spread outwards, weaving an intricate fabric of shared grief and resilience. Daily life thrummed beneath a blanket of fear, yet the strength of humanity became evident as civilians rallied to support the soldiers, forming a tight-knit network of allies that reached beyond battered boundaries. During town gatherings, children shared their stories of heroes fighting against the Garon. Their vivid imagination transformed the landscape, painting Alex and his team as larger-than-life figures protecting their cherished home. Hope lit their eyes, casting shadows of trepidation far behind them. With every vigil held for fallen comrades, the artists of the town painted grand murals depicting a tapestry of dreams. A vibrant piece emerged of Alex etched with victory, surrounded by his comrades, their figures reflecting unity that danced across the stars. "To the heroes!" they declared, voices resonating through shared emotions. Rejuvenated with purpose, Alex found moments amidst the chaos to reconnect with his team, seeking advice from respected elders who had fought battles long before them. He learned strategies from old legends, fueled by wisdom born from countless struggles. One afternoon, as the sun streamed through the clouds, illuminating the camp, Alex wandered through the streets, distant laughter accompanying him like music. He stumbled upon children depicting tales of his team, sprawled across the dirt alongside the vivacious resonances of life springing from the trees. "Captain, will you bring us home?" a small girl asked, wide-eyed and trusting, voice a balm amid swirling chaos. "Yes, I will," he replied softly, kneeling to meet her gaze. In profound moments, Alex realized the weight of his words, wrapping around his heart like a thick shroud. "Your bravery inspires me. Know that we will protect our home." The sun began to set, casting a golden hue over everything, yet the reminder of pending challenges loomed in the distance. They had to gather strength and face armies of darkness, wielded by the Garon who threatened their very existence. Returning to the battleground, the atmosphere buzzed with energy. Eager souls and supportive families began organizing themselves into makeshift supply teams, their spirits weaving unity through the darkness. During the solstice celebration, animal spirits danced across the sky as pyrotechnics exploded, uniting family and friends in joyous laughter. Yet, amongst the laughter, lay the tender ache of knowing that many warriors, once vibrant, would no longer return. Fueled by gratitude and tenacity, the community came together, feeding hope into wounds of despair, stitching camaraderie into the fabric of life. Stories mingled with laughter as they shared food, a banquet adorned with flames of determination. Then, amidst stories of bravery, came stories of loss. Alex, stepping forward, said, "We will rise together. We've faced tragedies, but our strength binds us. We owe it to those lost to carry on their dreams. They fought for us, and we will fight for them." His words filled the air with power and unity as the gathered community chanted. A chorus echoed through time. Spirits entwined, tongues united as the might of their heritage stretched across their hearts, not yet breaking away. As seasons transformed, so did the fervor within the humans. The tension surrounding Ferax 4 deepened, and the Garon saw their ploys for domination disregarded. A new chapter awaited, one that required humanity to leap across the chasm into battle. The first day of the new offensive felt crisp, charged with electric intensity. "We're going for the Garon stronghold nearest Cordis," Jenna announced, pointing at a location thick with Garon presence on the scattered map. Their decisive stronghold teemed with forces. It would be their next target. "What does it look like?" Basher asked, leaning closer, thoughts racing beneath the surface as they plumbed depths of possibility. "A fortress of darkness, Garon technology integrated, fortified to withstand direct assaults. But that's exactly what they will expect," Jenna explained, cracking the tension like forged glass. "Then let's play their game," Reggie interjected. "Let's hit them hard, but use traps to confuse and lure them into our game. We'll strike quickly, like shadows sweeping through a storm." Emboldened by Reggie's unconventional insight, Alex motioned for silence as they devised their strategies further. They huddled as echoes of whispers wound their way into vibrant schemes. As the plans culminated, they felt the fire of courage swelling, breathing life back into each member of the team. When the moment came, their hearts beat like drums, springing forth as shadows danced across the battlefield. "We keep moving. Use the dividers," Alex shouted, signaling their initial charge toward the thick forest covering their path. The night darkened and wrapped its fabric around them, creating a comforting shroud. They sneaked their way toward enemy lines, Garen forces unsuspecting of the impending thunderstorm. With adrenaline coursing through their veins, their hearts raced, fueling their charge into battle. They closed in tight before, at that moment, the air shattered around them. The assault unleashed in a vibrant blaze as explosions echoed through gnarled trees, flames igniting. "Enjoy the show," Basher boomed, smashing through ranks. They pressed forward like a wave crashing against the shores, determined to reclaim what was theirs. Jenna darted through the darkness, fearlessly hacking through systems that sent Garen's defenses spiraling into chaos. "Now, I've compromised their communications. They'll be scrambling," she shouted, invigorated as the Garen troops buzzed like flies in a trap. "Clear," Alex roared as they surged forward, battling relentlessly against enemy forces that turned their backs in confusion, humanity's wrath manifesting in the dance of war. As they pressed on, a shadow of hope swept through Alex. Victories turned into adrenaline-fueled certainty, creating legends from mere flickers. The time had come to reshape fate. The skies darkened, hushed whispers threading through the crowd as the atmosphere turned electric. Victory, palpable and sweet, danced tantalizingly close. Yet the Garon's reinforcements sought revenge, their monumental presence swelling like an approaching storm upon humanity's horizon. Victory stood just out of grasp as Alex and his team fortified the remnants of the Cordis stronghold, adrenaline thrumming in the air. They faced insurmountable odds. Bravery and bravado glinted behind the overwhelming wave of conflict. "Are you ready?" Alex asked, scanning every determined face gathered around him, hearts pounding in unison. Every soul radiated untamed energy, a breathtaking rebirth against the damning tide of despair. "Always ready," shouted Reggie, voice honed with fervor, fists clenching this time not with fear but reckoning. "Let's show them that humanity is not a footnote in their narrative. Together, we are a force." Jenna echoed her insights, heart swelling with excitement as she readied her tech. She activated her systems, flames of innovation coursing through her. As the amplified sounds of approaching enemies filled the air, humanity felt their spirits shift as war drums beat loudly in their hearts. "Let's do this," Basher shouted as they bolted forward into the fray, each step marking new ground. What had once felt daunting transforming into an electrifying surge poised against oppression. They clashed forward, defiance reaching into the shoulders of toughened warriors while they fought against the blinding spark of chaos. Alex recalled every lesson learned, converging in the heat of battle. Breathless moments passed. He fought alongside comrades, brushing past enemies. "Come on, we can't let them regroup," he ordered determinedly, each word a battle strategy aimed at fueling humanity's shared momentum. With every swing of fists, flames ignited across the field, memories etched into the stars, and laughter dousing the air, empowering their spirits. Then storm clouds of tension began to thicken and swell as opportunity unfolded before them. Alex found himself momentarily blind to the chaos. But when Jenna shouted, a spark ignited, a colossal Garon war machine standing guard, preparing to cripple their forces. "Distract it! We have to disable it!" Jenna screamed amidst the onslaught, her voice emerging above the chaos. "Now!" Alex shouted back. They surged forward, a flood of humanity pushing against the odds, tearing into the heart of darkness with unwavering resolve. Among the blaring alarms, their fury mingled. Garen sentinels broke ranks, attempting to regain control of the battlefield, as confusion began to seep through their rigid lines. The waves of Garen forces swelled, and everything felt like it was happening in slow motion, as humanity's cries drowned out the cacophony that surrounded them. Each moment stretched, suspending every desire for vengeance into clarity. When Jenna perfected her sabotage through sheer determination and bravado, she called out, "I've disabled their systems! Let's take it down!" In one defiant climactic motion, Alex charged forward, strength surging through him. Basher lunged desperately, sacrificing himself against the imposing wall of Garen technology. His energy fueled the power of their passions, unleashing purpose beyond reckoning. "Push forward, we are not backing down," he bellowed. In that fervent moment, humanity surged like a tidal wave against their foes, tilting the tides of war until they were eclipsed by glory. With the barriers decimated and the Garan forces disoriented, the humans pressed onward, hearts swelling with the realization that together, united in purpose, they had found victory. The world shifted as dusk settled, and the battlefield lay strewn with the echoes of the fallen, the faint hum of victory coursing through them. As Alex caught his breath, fatigue etched upon his face, he gazed at the remnants of Garan technology crumbling around them. "We did it! We struck them down!" Reggie hollered, raising his ashes-covered fist skyward, excitement bursting in his voice while laughter surrounded him. Defiance prevailed as he exhaled deeply, feeling the hum of triumph reverberate through the air. As Alex stood in the aftermath of chaos, the weight of what they had fought for enveloped him, the lives lost, the comrades who would never return. "It's only the beginning," he said slowly, acknowledging the complexities of their journey ahead. "We've shown them our courage, but this fight extends beyond conquest. We have to work toward stability, reclaim our land." A sea of newfound hope washed over them as they came together beneath the dancing stars. Stories shared alongside camaraderie manifested memories stronger than steel, a legacy thriving among them. But they knew the complexities ahead. The Galactic Council awaited their resolutions, still skeptical about the humanity stepping back into the fold. Would their newfound legitimacy prevail amidst peer scrutiny born from arrogance? "Tonight we celebrate, but tomorrow we build alliances," he exclaimed, his voice a rallying cry that rippled through their group, igniting spirit. In a frenzy of energy, they shed the dust of the fallen. Unity illuminated their path. Their commitment empowered their spirits anew. Now they weren't just fighting for survival. They were fighting to forge a place in a galaxy demanding reckoning. Months passed since that pivotal moment when tides had turned violently in their favor. The Galactic Council convened once more, and this time it was different. The tapestry of alliances had shifted profoundly. Humanity's tenacity had blended with the hopes of former rivals, intertwining their fates. In the grand amphitheater adorned with vibrant lights, Alex stood at the forefront, flanked by his teammates, their presence a powerful testament to their journey. Alien races who once regarded them with contempt now watched with admiration. Hopeful futures shimmered on the horizon. Kale Narat rose to present, his voice steady as he extolled, "Once a lesser species, humans have proven their tenacity and strength. They rise not only for themselves, but embody hope for those who cannot." With every heartbeat, unity filled the chamber, echoing with lingering promises of new alliances. As applause rang through the council, Alex felt camaraderie wash over him, an embodiment of their struggles forging unbreakable bonds. "Together we will forge a new era," he proclaimed, voice trembling with conviction, his gaze now locked on the faces of gathered representatives. The oppressive weight of uncertainty transformed into palpable anticipation. As discussions cooled to a close, the cacophony of tension transformed into hopeful whispers of friendship. The echoes of humanity's tenacity took residence in the hearts of council members, an indelible mark proclaiming their existence forged in strength. When the council finally welcomed the humans among their ranks as equals, cheers erupted like fireworks against the ink-blue night sky. Broken walls of prejudice began to collapse. The future resonated brightly in the starlit horizon. As Alex glanced at his teammates involved, remembering the fiercest of battles fought, he realized that they had not only risen from the ashes, but had painted their narrative across the cosmic landscape. The stars above became a canvas for their legacy, one where the light of unity triumphed over shadows of despair. With every heartbeat, they soared into the cosmos, not as isolated beings but as allies, ready to shape the future for themselves and the galaxy at large, forever bound by the moments that had ignited within them a fire that could never be extinguished.